On the news, Supreme Court dismisses Rivers State Governor Fubara's appeal challenging Amewule-led House of Assembly. IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu questions court's jurisdiction as Justice Nyako adjourns case indefinitely. The police force denies rumors of reinstating disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad SAS. Thanks for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Simisola Atiku. A five-man panel of the Supreme Court has dismissed the appeal filed by Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, challenging the leadership of the State House of Assembly led by Martins Amewule. The dismissal of the appeal was hinged on the withdrawal of the suit filed by Governor Fubara's counsel, Yusuf Ali. Following a no objection by the respondents, the court agreed and awarded 4 million naira in costs against Fubara payable to the Assembly and the Speaker. The Supreme Court also ordered that all actions taken by Governor Fubara in their absence, including presenting the 2024 and 2025 budgets to just 3 lawmakers, have now been rendered null and void, ordering him to represent both budgets before the faction of the State House of Assembly led by Martins Amewule. This ruling follows earlier decisions by the Federal High Court and Court of Appeal faulting Fubara's presentation of the Rivers State 800 billion naira 2024 budget before a 3-member House of Assembly led by Edison Eye, calling it an aberration and illegality. Fubara had predicated his decision to present the 2024 budget to the Ehe-led House of Assembly on the grounds that the Amewule-led faction, having defected from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressives Congress (APC), ceases to be lawful members of the State Assembly. However, the lower courts ruled that he failed to provide evidence of their defection and therefore could not legally present a budget to a 3-member House.
With the kind permission of my learned senior chief, Olani Beku, who led us, ATN, who led us in this matter, for the first and second respondent, that is the Rivers State House of Assembly and Right Honorable Martin Amewule. The appeal by the governor of Rivers State was dismissed by the Supreme Court this morning following the notice of withdrawal by the governor of the appeal he filed. Consequently, the decisions of the Court of Appeal and that of the Federal High Court, presided over by Honorable Justice Omotosho J, affirming that the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Honorable Martin Amewule, and the other 26 members of the House of Assembly are the authentic members of that House of Assembly and remain so, and that Martin Amewule is the leader, that is the Speaker of the House of Assembly. So that is the position today, and I must add that the Court of Appeal had admonished and clearly stated that the House, purportedly being led by a 3-man panel, is not the Rivers State House of Assembly.
Well, let's discuss the Supreme Court's judgment against Rivers State Governor Fubara's appeal. Legal practitioner Justice Ojieno joins me now. Thank you for your time, Justice. Now, what's your reaction to this ruling by the Supreme Court dismissing Governor Fubara's suit, challenging the authority of Martins Amewule and asking him to represent the state's 2024 budget? And why do you think the governor withdrew his case, which prompted the Supreme Court to dismiss it?
Lawyers on his side, led by Mr. Yusuf Ali, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, must have weighed and found that there is really no merit in their own case in the Supreme Court, because I do not see a reason why they will fight it tooth and nail from the High Court to the appellate, into the appellate court and to the apex court, and now withdraw. And we have to check the history of this particular case. We remember that in the Court of Appeal, it was very obvious that there will really not be much to be able to achieve at the Supreme Court, because just like a lawyer, one major lesson that I have learned from these cases no matter who is trying to intervene between I or my client and another person, I will not tell my client to take a decision unless I've seen the action in good faith of the other party, especially when it's the other party that instituted the action. Mr. Wike, for example, instituted the action. Mr. Fubara and through his cronies and previous decided to defend the action. Then the president called both parties and said, hey, you guys, please sheath your sword. It was Mr. Wike that drew first blood. Mr. Fubara was supposed to wait for Mr. Wike to actually withdraw the case. But he went ahead to withdraw his counter affidavit and all the other documents and evidence and exhibits that he was relying on, or he was supposed to rely on in defense of his case. He withdrew it in good faith. And because he withdrew it in law, what the position of the law is that when a person sues you and there is no defense on your side, there is no document that you are using to defend your case, you are as good as having admitted everything that the person that is suing you has presented before the court. And unfortunately, since he lost the court because of a lack of defense at the high court level, there was almost very, very little that he could do at the appeal court level and subsequently too. And unfortunately so, there was nothing for him to have been able to achieve at the Supreme Court level. And that was why I thought, I saw that they thought it wise for them to withdraw it. And the court, in actual fact, dismissed it. The court didn't strike it out. And the difference is that they cannot go back to the Supreme Court again for the Supreme Court to revisit the matter. So as it presently is, from the beginning to the end, as it stands now, Mr. Amewule and his faction are the authentic members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. I do not know what may happen tomorrow.
Now, the Supreme Court's ruling has automatically cleared the way for the 27 lawmakers to fully reclaim their legislative roles in the Rivers State House of Assembly. Now, does this mean that the alleged defection cannot be contended? I mean, quite a lot of people had believed that that defection means automatic loss of their seats in the House.
Okay, really, we have to always remember that even when we say there is nothing automatic, especially when two people actually go ahead to try to dispute it in court. So eventually it is what the court decides on that will carry the day. If the court says that, okay, the actions of these people or these purported defectors amounts to actually defection in the eyes of the Constitution, that is when the defection can take effect. But because the court too can decide that, yeah, it didn't, for some reasons, because some conditions have not been met, maybe because they were joking, or maybe for one reason or the other, the court can say that, okay, it is inchoate, it is incomplete. So if that is the situation too, then it will stand to reason that they have not defected. So whether they have defected or not, in actual fact, is a matter that is going to be decided by the court. So if the court has decided that they have defected, then we have to all abide that they have defected. If the court said they have not defected, then we have to abide that they have not defected.
Legal practitioner Justice Ojieno, we appreciate your input as always. Thank you for sharing your insights. Thank you. In another legal matter, a federal high court in Abuja has adjourned the trial of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, indefinitely. Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court adjourned the suit on Monday, February 10, following Kanu's insistence that the judge could not preside over his case since she had recused herself. Kanu challenged Nyako to take a definitive stance regarding his detention, specifically requesting that she either restore his bail conditions or order. Back in September 24, 2024, Nyako had recused herself from Kanu's trial in response to a request from the defendant, who expressed a lack of confidence in her ability to preside over the case impartially. However, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, John Soho, reverted the file to Nyako on the ground that Kanu's application must be brought formally before the court through a motion on notice. Kanu is facing a 7-count charge bordering on terrorism brought against him by the Nigerian government.
Why is it when it comes to my case, they turn the law upside down? They turn the law upside down. Upside down. Upside down.
The rule of NJC is you don't make the petition.
Listen. This is the laws of Nigeria. The prosecution and this court doesn't know the law. That is the fact. Yes. Poor knowledge of the law is killing Nigeria. Poor knowledge of the law, they don't know the law. This is a federal gazetted law of Nigeria that says here that the chief judge of Nigeria cannot tell Binta Nyako what to do. It's here. It's your law. Just obey it. That is why I do what I do. I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra, my right to agitate. My right. They turned it from treasonable felony now to terrorism. Stop talking when I'm talking.
Court had lost jurisdiction to sit over this case since September last year. So we came here today on a limited appearance. We appeared on protest out of utmost respect for the judge and for the court, to listen to the court as to the reasons why we were invited before the same court that was recused in September last year. Once an order of court is made, the only way you can set it aside is to take it on appeal. Nobody appealed this order. The order is extant and subsisting, is still valid, and we were invited today to be informed about some memo from the chief judge that we don't even have a copy of the memo. So our submission on the record is that the court stands recused until that order is set aside.
In other stories, the Nigeria Police Force has denied rumors of the reinstatement of the disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SAS) under a reformed set of rules. In a statement issued in Abuja on Monday, Force Public Relations Officer Muyiwa Adejobi clarified that the SAS, which was disbanded on October 11, 2020, remains permanently dissolved. Adejobi also urged citizens to treat information about SAS reformation and rules of engagement with caution. SAS, which had become controversial due to its connections to extrajudicial killings, extortion and torture, also faced numerous investigations in response to public protests, ultimately being disbanded on October 11, 2020, following bloody nationwide protest under the slogan "End SAS." The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested 2 suspected drug kingpins at Port Harcourt International Airport and the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, who excreted a total of 125 wraps of heroin. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi, who confirmed the arrest, revealed that one of the suspects, Onyekwanike Silvanus, operates under dual identities to evade detection. The Anti-Narcotics Agency also intercepted 2 parcels containing 2.82 kilograms of loud, a synthetic strain of cannabis imported from the United States, at a courier company in Lagos. TV360's Ogechukwu Kekwe has more on the story.
30-year-old Onyekwanike Silvanus was caught at Port Harcourt Airport on February 2, 2025, using a Sierra Leonean passport under the name Kagbo Mohammed Fode. A body scan conducted by the NDLEA confirmed he had injected illicit drugs, and under observation, he excreted 62 wraps of heroin weighing 1.348 kilograms in 5 sessions. Further investigation showed that Silvanus alternated between his Nigerian and Sierra Leonean passport for drug trafficking across Thailand, Pakistan, Iran, and West Africa. A separate operation at the Lagos airport led to the arrest of 48-year-old James Chinonso, who arrived from Madagascar via Addis Ababa on an Ethiopian airline flight. A body scan confirmed Chinonso had injected illicit drugs, leading to the excretion of 63 wraps of heroin. In Kano, NDLEA operative arrested 2 suspects, Husseini Salusi and Yahaya Muazu, with 15,396 pills of tramadol hidden in a gas cylinder. A female suspect, Chioma Okeke, was also arrested in the Sabongiri area with 15 kilograms of cannabis. Another suspect, Rufai Hassan, was caught with 65 parcels of Colorado weighing 1.6 kilograms destined for Jigawa State. While commending the officers and men of the various commands of the agency for the arrest and seizure, the Chairman Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Buba Mawa, urged them to sustain the tempo of operational successes across the country, especially their balanced approach to drug supply reduction and drug demand reduction efforts. Ogechukwu Kekwe, TV360, Lagos.
In a related development, the NDLEA has declared 4 associates of Lagos drug kingpin Sulaiman Aremu Ganiu, also known as Barry Shine, wanted for their involvement in multiple drug trafficking activities. The NDLEA revealed that the court order to declare the suspects wanted was granted by Honorable Justice Akintayo Aluko of the Federal High Court, Lagos, on January 28, 2025. The court also ordered that public notices with photographs of the suspects be conspicuously displayed as they are currently at large. Meanwhile, Barry Shine is currently facing criminal charges at the Federal High Court in Lagos. We'll take a short break. Still to come, UN Secretary General Guterres welcomes formation of new Lebanon government, pledges support. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. Here's a recap of some of our stories. A 5-man panel of the Supreme Court has dismissed the appeal filed by the Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, challenging the leadership of the State House of Assembly led by Martins Amewule. The Supreme Court also ordered Fubara to represent both the 2024 and 2025 budgets before the faction of the State House of Assembly led by Martins Amewule. We also told you that a federal high court in Abuja led by Justice Binta Nyako has adjourned the trial of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob Nnamdi Kanu, indefinitely on Monday, February 10, following Kanu's insistence that the judge could not preside over his case since she had recused herself. In case you missed any of our news bulletins, or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other Paper Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Welcome back. Let's join Joy Uchejim for business news. Over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Simi. Well, the Nigerian government says it has commenced discussions with the International Finance Corporation, part of the World Bank Group, to develop policies aimed at leveraging the nation's capital market and other funding sources to boost infrastructure development through public-private partnerships. The discussions were part of a meeting between the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission and the World Bank team on a fact-finding mission to explore ways to unlock Nigeria's capital market. Speaking during the meeting, the ICRC Director General, Jobson Ewolafo, highlighted that tapping into alternative finance options, such as the capital market for funding public-private partnerships, is a key part of the innovative financing policy. And in Lagos, the state government has reaffirmed its commitment to fostering a vibrant, resilient, innovative, and globally competitive industrial landscape. The Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment, Folashade Ambrose, said this during the Lagos State Industrial Policy Consultative Assembly and Validation Workshop organized by the Ministry at Alausa, Ikeja. Ambrose emphasized that as the world transitions towards economic modernization, driven by technology, sustainability, and global competitiveness, it is crucial to recalibrate the state's industrial policies to align with domestic priorities and international best practices.
The updated Lagos State 2025 to 2030 reflects the state's commitment to creating an enabling environment for MSMEs, and it aims to address existing structural challenges, harnessing the emerging opportunities, and establishing Lagos as a preferred destination. Today, I would really love us to surface, what we're reviewing today, it would be great if we can have a balanced overview. So we're not just looking at the opportunities, but also the challenges. And in addition, the risks, what could go wrong, so that we can mitigate as best as we can as well. And the policy, obviously, as I mentioned, is in alignment with Mr. Governor Babajide Olushola's Themes Plus Agenda and our LSDP 2052 plan. The policy objectives are fivefold. Infrastructural development, I've given the case and explained all of that earlier. Ease of doing business, streamlined regulations, investor incentives. What is there? What did we have in the last policy? What worked well with that? What can we bring and ensure we implement here? What do we need to remove? Export competitiveness. What are the parameters? What are the guidelines? How do we ensure that our MSMEs, our industries, our businesses are working and making sure we're addressing the guidelines so that when we export, we don't have very happy cases whereby we're actually having our products.
We'll now go on a short break and return with stock market reports. Welcome back. Now, after a strong trading session throughout the previous week, the Nigerian equities market saw a slight dip of 0.04% on Monday as investors took the opportunity to lock in profits. This followed a record-breaking rally that boosted the market's value by 884 billion naira last week. Now, stocks like International Energy Insurance, RT Briscoe, and Julius Berger led the losses on Monday. International Energy Insurance fell from 2.50 naira to 2 naira 25 kobo. RT Briscoe also experienced a decline, dropping from 2 naira 70 kobo to 2 naira 44 kobo, losing 26 kobo. Now, in total, the market recorded 567 million shares traded in 17,843 deals, equating to a market value of 10 billion naira. Now, compared to the previous NGX trading day on Friday, February 7th, Monday's figures showed a 49% increase in volume, a 13% growth in turnover, and a 39% rise in the number of deals. Now, on the global front, however, the outlook was entirely positive, with major indices ending the day in the green, recovering from Friday's losses. And in the foreign exchange market, the US dollar traded at 1,570 naira, the British pound at 1,980 naira, and the euro at 1,010 naira on the black market. And that's on both business and stock market updates. Back to you, Simi, for the rest of the news.
Thank you, Joy. And on the foreign scene, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has welcomed the formation of a new government in Lebanon and reaffirmed his support for the country's territorial integrity, sovereignty, and political independence. In a statement, UN Chief Spokesperson Stefan Dujarric assured that the United Nations looks forward to collaborating closely with the new government on its priorities, including reinforcing the cessation of hostilities and fully implementing Resolution 1701 of 2006. The statement also emphasized the international body's support for all efforts to address the pressing needs and aspirations of the Lebanese people, including through recovery and reconstruction and the implementation of a comprehensive, inclusive, and sustainable reform agenda. And Baltic countries of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania have officially cut off their remaining electricity connection with Russia, marking a historic shift in their energy independence. This decision came after officials in the three countries switched off the transmission lines of the Soviet-era electricity grid, which had previously linked them to Russia, and instead integrated fully with the broader European energy network. This significant move comes more than 3 decades after the collapse of the Soviet Union, effectively ending the Baltic's last remaining energy ties to Russia, a major producer of oil and gas. And on sports, Deputy Governor of Edo State Dennis Idahosa has inaugurated a 12-man planning committee for the 4th Edo State Sports Festival, charging them to work together as a team and a hitch-free event. For a hitch-free event, the 12-member committee has the chairman, Edo State Sports Commission, Amadi Enabulele, as chairman. While performing the inauguration of the committee in the Government House, the Deputy Governor said the sports festival is part of the developmental strategy of the state government aimed at enhancing sports at the grassroots level. And after a run of 7 consecutive Serie A victories, Napoli have failed to win in back-to-back matches following a 1-1 draw with Udinese. The team dominated for long periods in the second half but failed to create many clear-cut opportunities and dropped points for a second consecutive weekend after a 1-1 draw at Roma last time out. And that's it on News Now. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time.